Today's highlighted coin is the 2025 Let Them Die. If the truth shall kill them, let them die.
Chris's quote on his 2025 strike, "If the truth shall kill them, let them die," has been attributed to Immanuel Kant, but there is no documented proof that he wrote or spoke those words. It is therefore more accurately attributed to Ayn Rand, who wrote the words to summarize Kant's philosophy about man's duty to live a truthful life despite the consequences. Kant argued this point in his essay on a supposed right to lie for philanthropic motives, where he concludes that man's integrity must be based on adhering to the truth, whether it seems fair or not, and that it is also a sacred duty for all men to abide by that divine directive. We know from past experience that humanity cannot live freely, productively, or peacefully without embracing biblical truth as defined and directed by our Creator. World history has shown us time and time again that Kant's reflections are based in fact. The truth must prevail no matter what the consequences, because without man's adherence to the truth, he is doomed to suffer from demented delusions. When the public's understanding of right and wrong is distorted, disordered, or countermanded, chaos ensues and mankind sinks into the abyss of deviance, deception, and destruction. Sometimes the devious and underhanded efforts of those who wish to reverse the concept of what truth truly means, while espousing that good is evil and evil is good, is subtle and can take decades to be fully implemented. This was the case with America's astoundingly patient but nonetheless scheming socialist communist academics. But the COVID-19 pandemic brought their brainwashing efforts to light as parents watched what was being taught to their children remotely. This pushed many parents to loudly object to the lies their children were being taught. But the battle has just begun, as we continue to witness just how pernicious academia's hateful rhetoric has been, while recently watching the increasing level of physical violence against good and innocent people all across the country. Some people want to blame the internet for this rise in irrational violence, but these troubled young people wouldn't be susceptible to the internet's influence if they weren't, as innocent children, originally indoctrinated to reject biblical truth by socialist communist teachers. This is also what happens when you ban school prayer. Evil fills the void. The devil is as frenetically active now as he was during other segments of America's past, as is exemplified by the needless assassination of good Charlie Kirk by a demented evildoer. We are once again living through the psychotic destructive violence that existed in the 1960s because people for decades have failed to protect and promulgate the truth. They stopped taking their kids to church too, which just added fuel to the fire. Sadly, our country is currently suffering through similarly chaotic times once again, just as did Thomas Paine in his time. His words are just as prophetic as they were 250 years ago when he wrote the opening line for his 1976 booklet, Common Sense. "These are the times that try men's souls." In today's world, that seems a colossal understatement. That momentous time in our history during the initiation of the American Revolution required not only agreed-upon biblical truth-seekers, but enormous courage and resolve to defeat the British liars who sought to subjugate the American colonists. Truth be told, those truth-seekers, purveyors of the truth and truth-tellers of old, whose lives were defined by the gospel truth, are still here. We simply have to unleash their ferocity once again and then stand back and watch the fireworks. Chris issues 2 new proofs each week that are available for a limited time. These proofs come in a presentation box with the certificate of authenticity, as shown here. They are also available in BU Brilliant Uncirculated versions, which are only stamped once, and they come in copper as well. You can check out all Chris's Silver Shield proofs and all things Silver Shield on ChrisDuaneSilverShieldCoins.com.